What's up, everybody? Welcome to Off the Shelf Movie Night. I'm Steven, and I'm here to talk to you about DVDs and Blu-rays, and sometimes trips to the cinema, too. All the things about movies and TV that we love. It's been a while since I've been on the YouTube, and it's because I've been having some issues mostly with the internet. I've been busy with a lot of life things, too. A lot of film projects. I'm working on a documentary right now, which has taken a lot of my time. And you know, if it's something you guys would be interested in as far as hearing my perspective on film and physical media and that kind of thing, from the filmmaker perspective, I'll be happy to share that. And if also you want to hear more about documentaries on physical media that I would recommend, happy to share that too. Just hit me with a comment below and let me know. And also, if you like this kind of thing, if you like DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks and home theater and all that stuff, then give me a like and a share and a subscribe, and don't forget to turn those notifications on so we can talk about all this great stuff. There will be more content coming. I'm going to get better about this now that I've got my new AT&T gateway installed. Supposedly, I'm supposed to have really good speed. We'll see. I've been checking the speed off and on this iPad here and other devices, and it's a little bit suspect, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's better than it was, that's for sure. So we are in November now. Halloween is over. I'm kind of done with I'm never done, to be clear, with horror films, but I'm kind of done with the daily horror film fix. I can move into some other types of films to watch, and I'm kind of excited about that because I love horror, but wow, I watched a lot of horror in October. And you can see a lot of that stuff if you hit up my Instagram, because I was posting a daily picture of whatever horror film I was watching that day. I watched Stephen King. I watched some J-horror. I watched a lot of different things, and maybe you'll find something in there you haven't seen. And if you do, hit me up and let me know. Message me on Instagram or right here if you want, and we'll talk about that. And make me some recommendations, things that I didn't watch that you think that I should have. Please share that stuff with me. So now we're in November, and we're in what I call the dark times of new media purchases. And it's only dark times because I'm going to have to wait to make purchases. I cut myself off the first week of November from any new release purchases because I want to see what's going to happen the weekend after Thanksgiving, in particular that Thursday night and Black Friday, because Best Buy and Walmart and Target, those guys usually run some great sales. They'll often use media, physical media, as a loss leader. I don't know if they'll do that as much this year because it's becoming more of a collector's market, but you never know. So I'm not buying anything new. I have some pickups that I want to share with you that I got. One thing I was sent by Paramount Pictures, and I'm excited to share that with you. And the other things I got from the Amazon Deal of the Day, which is something worth keeping an eye on. They put some really great catalog titles up there starting at around $5. I ordered something yesterday that was $4.43 on DVD. Now, I don't buy that many DVDs. I do buy documentaries on DVD, and that's probably what has put the documentary thing at top of mind, because I just bought one. Because you won't see a lot of older documentaries making their way to Blu-ray or 4K. It's just not going to happen. So I'm trying to grab those on whatever physical media format I can get them on before they're gone. Now, Criterion has some great documentaries. Vernon, Florida is one that comes to mind, but and those are on Blu-ray, and they're beautiful. But most other stuff is going to be on DVD, including my own documentary. It is out on DVD right now from Green Planet Films and Bid Slate. It's called Family of Fear, and I don't want to pimp that thing out too much and take up too much time here, but if you're interested, it is a documentary about the Arx Mortis haunted attraction in Killen, Alabama. 50,000 square foot haunted attraction with some amazing makeup and special effects and production value. But it's really about the people that make it happen. You're going to see all that stuff. You're going to see some great patron scares, people early exiting because they got too scared. All that stuff is there. But it's really about the haunt actors and the artists that make that place a reality every year. So if you want to see that, it's on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description box below. Also, my Instagram will be there too if you want to hit me up there and talk about some movies. So anyway, on to the pickups. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I was doing some shopping on the Amazon Deal of the Day and finding some really cool deals on catalog titles, things that I don't think I'm going to have to worry about for Black Friday. So the one thing I picked up now, I've got more things coming and I'll share those with you, but I just picked up Caddyshack. This is the classic film from the early 80s. It's a National Lampoon's film. I don't know if you're familiar with that. You should be, because National Lampoon's also brought us Christmas Vacation, and they brought us Animal House. This was Harold Ramis's follow-up film to Animal House. He had great success with that film, and the studio offered him opportunities to pitch other projects, and he did. That didn't go over well. Then he and a co-writer came up with this idea of telling a story about sort of the pompous people that play golf on one of these private golf clubs or whatever. So they put together a good script with some help from the studio. You'll learn a lot about this film if you pick this Blu-ray up. It's actually a really great Blu-ray because there is a feature-length documentary about the film and how it came to be, the making of the film, and then the eventual release of the film. This was a sort of a confluence of amazing talent in this film. You had Chevy Chase, who was an up-and-coming comedian, had done a lot of great work on Saturday Night Live and that kind of thing. And most importantly, you had Bill Murray, who had had great success with Stripes and films of that nature. He was also really big in the National Lampoon's comedy troupe and had done a lot of Saturday Night Live and that kind of thing. Very funny, very popular. And the biggest chance that they took was Rodney Dangerfield. This was his very first feature film. You may not know who Rodney Dangerfield is, but you do. If you've ever heard someone say to you, or you've said to somebody that you get no respect, that comes from him. That was his tagline. He created that. So they brought him on to this project and took a real chance with him, and he ended up sort of stealing the film. You learn that the film was supposed to be about the Caddies, but these three, Rodney Dangerfield, Bill Murray, and Chevy Chase, sort of took the film over with their ad-libbing and sort of going off script and creating some really insanely funny moments. The film holds up very well. It is a sort of period piece now, to be honest with you. It feels like right out of a time capsule of the late 70s and early 80s. Very, very funny film. It's some of Harold Ramis's best work as a director here. Apparently, he knew very little about the whole process of filmmaking. Everybody was drunk or stoned most of the time this film was being made, apparently. There's great stories in the feature documentary that comes on this Blu-ray. So there's nothing to show you here. They gave us no artwork, nothing. It's a very basic presentation. But right now, as I record this, this is $5 on Amazon's Deal of the Day. So I highly recommend giving it a look, because if you rented it, it would cost you $3. So you might as well just buy it, own it. It's very, very funny. So a couple other things. I'm not going to go too much into this because a lot of people have talked about this film, or these films, honestly. This is the Criterion release of Police Story 1 and 2. Now, the reason I bring this one up in particular is because Barnes & Noble is having their 50% off Criterion sale again. I could have gone crazy buying more things, but when I went to Barnes & Noble, this set is the one that I was really after, because during their previous sale, it had sold out. And I know I could have ordered it online, but I don't like to pay the shipping, and I'm a creature of the bin shopping. I like to buy things local when I can, so I just didn't do it. But it's a great set. It's Criterion, so you get Police Story 1 and 2, new 2K transfers with a ton of bonus features. This is Jackie Chan doing that thing that he did in the 70s and in the 80s too. Real stunts, real people, real stunt people. You see the abuse that they took making this film. It's a beautiful film. The first one, I'm talking mostly about the first one because the first one is a classic. The second one is okay. It has some great moments in it. I enjoy it as a sequel to a really great film. So just a quick look here. Take the slipcover off. Then the inside here, you go, sort of opens up. Let me just take this out. Just open this up for you. There we go. There's the inside. So you do get inside here both films on Blu-ray, and there's a poster. I don't know if I can get this poster open. I honestly don't even know why I'm bothering to show it to you, because honestly, I don't think it's a good poster. It's sort of just this artist rendition of the film or whatever, the sequence from the film. But the back of the poster You get a write-up. This is a crappy way to provide a write-up, Criterion. I hate this. But I didn't buy it for this. I bought it for the extras that are actually in the set. And for the great films that are here. Well, one great and one good. So if you're not caught up on your Criterion, now's a good time to do it. This is where I would break my rule about waiting till Black Friday, because this sale won't go on forever. Paramount sent me this next film. Let me just hold this up here. This is classic Christmas film. It's a Wonderful Life, brought to us in stunning, and when I say stunning, I don't say it lightly, stunning 4K. So inside you get pretty much just the same artwork. And here's the back. If you want to just like pause it for a second, let me see if I can get a little closer to you. Pause it, okay, do the read up you can with the special features listed there. No artwork, nothing on the inside. So this is the one thing that bothers me about this, is it is a premium presentation as far as the film goes. And the packaging is not premium. It's okay, it's fine. The artwork is cool. One weird thing, take a look. So you see that HDR note down there about the stunning color that HDR brings. Well, this is a black and white film. What's weird about that, though, if I take the slip back off and you look again, it's actually that HDR bug is designed into the cover art and not a sticker. I much prefer them to just put a sticker there and let me take it off. Now, to the film. This is a film that when it originally came out, no one cared in 1946. It was saccharine to people who had gone through so much in that era. The thing that's interesting about the film is it sort of went into a royalty-free situation and just became a staple of TV, because TV needed to fill broadcast time and they could get this movie for cheap or even for free. So it aired nonstop every holiday season, and over the years people began to appreciate it and love it, and now it is a staple of the holiday season. So the original film prints were basically beat to death. There were 14 reels in this film. 13 of them were salvageable. One of them was not. That gets to the special features here. On the Blu-ray, there is, well, actually, no, I'm saying that wrong. This is actually the reverse of what I'm used to. Typically, what I'm used to seeing is the 4K stands on its own. Then all the bonus features are presented on the Blu-ray. In this situation, you get everything that you want right on the 4K disc. There is a documentary about the restoration of this film and all of the work that went into bringing this film back to life. And one of my favorite things is the side-by-side. They show you what the original film looked like, and then they show you what you are actually getting in the 4K presentation, which is beautiful detail, very high contrast, nice lines and edges, great black levels. So it's not color, but what the HDR does is it gives us a dynamic level of gray. So you get shades of gray, not just black or white or sort of in the middle gray. You get the shades of gray that are represented by the original film print. It's not perfect. There's some soft scenes in it where what they had to do was use a secondary piece of source material to cover some scenes, especially in that last reel that was basically destroyed. So sure, there's a few soft scenes in it, a few grainy scenes. They're not that grainy though. They did a lot of work. It is stunning. I guarantee you, if you have a 4K TV, 4K projector, and you look at this, you have never seen this film look this good. So if you want something to watch over the holiday weekend with family in town, that kind of thing, this 4K for a black and white film is really a showstopper. The audio, on the other hand, sadly, not as much work was done in the audio department. It's fine, it's good, it sounds good, it's nice and clear, music sounds good, but it's pretty basic. We didn't get some sort of really amazing, remastering, remixing of the audio. But it's good. This really hits me in the soft spot, being a collector of bonus features and getting the films in the best possible format that I can get them. Not only do I get the film here in the best format I can get it, but I also get bonus features dedicated to the restoration of it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful film, highly recommended. pick this one up, share it with your family, enjoy this 4K presentation. Thank you, Paramount, for bringing this film back to life and showing us what 4K can do for classic films. Movies shot on film are going to be what you see the most benefit with 4K from. Digital films shot at 2K are just going to be upscaled. To my understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please do, is that traditional film, like real film, can support up to an 8K presentation digitally. So when we get a film that's brought to us in 4K from a film print, it's going to be gorgeous and it's going to look better. It's going to be more substantial in quality upgrade than, say, something shot with, a 1080 or 2K digital camera that's upscaled. So get this film. It is a prized piece of my library now and a true stunner. This is when people ask me what's the big deal about 4K. This will be one of the few films I pull out. 1946. So that's my pickups for now. I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna probably do my first out and about video during the weekend of Black Friday and just kind of show you what I pick up, because I'm not only gonna go to Best Buy and Target and Walmart. I'm gonna go to my favorite used spot here, which is McKay's. I know, like we've talked about before, some of you guys have Bull Moose and other chains. Well, here it's McKay's, and they have a ton of used Blu-rays and a decent selection of 4Ks. So I'll be interested to see what they do for the Black Friday weekend. But between now and then, I will be picking up more of those $5 Amazon deal of the day releases, should they, put something that I need to replace in my collection. Okay, the last couple of things is, we have word that, you've probably already seen this, that there is an amazing version of Big Trouble in Little China coming. If you don't know this film, you need to look it up. It is one of my favorite John Carpenter films. It really steps out of his comfort zone, and it's crazy and fun. Well, this new presentation is going to have a ton of bonus features and what looks to be a really great presentation. You can pre-order that on Amazon right now. And then we also have, coming up from Arrow, a new presentation of RoboCop. I'm on the fence about that one because they're using the same transfer that was done, I think it was 2013. Now, that was a 4K transfer, and it was a nice one. So maybe they just feel they can improve on the work that was already done. It was it was overseen by the director and that kind of thing. So maybe it's as good as it's going to get as far as that presentation. But they're going to bring us all the extras and then some new extras too. And if you're into steelbooks, I know some of you guys are, some of you aren't. I'm on the fence. I might get this one in a steelbook because I don't own it. You can pre-order that now too. That is on the way. So those are the things that I know about. Let me know what you know about things that I should be watching for, maybe pre-ordering right now that I haven't mentioned. So follow me on Instagram. You can get my Instagram in the description below. It's OTS Movie Night. And let me know what you're watching. Let me know in the comments what you're watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you guys for following me and chatting with me. I've had some really great conversations about double dipping and American Werewolf in London and that kind of thing. So let me know what you're going to be watching the next coming month. Are you already watching Christmas movies? I refuse to actually sit down and, other than to review, which if you want to see a more in-depth review, you can go to culturesmash.tv, and I wrote an in-depth review of It's a Wonderful Life there. But unless I have something sent to me for review, I'm holding off on my Christmas movies until the weekend after Thanksgiving. Are you watching them now? Are you going to pick up that Elf Steelbook that's out now? Now I know it's a Steelbook and it's just a reissue of the Elf Blu-ray that's already been out, so I probably won't be picking that one up. So let me know what you're up to, and I'll talk to you on the next video.